before coming to your FDP, they must have gone to, gone to my homepage.
Okay, sir. With this, may I take the pleasure of requesting sir to begin with the
Yeah, sure.
session on the topic R programming. Over
Right,
to you,
right,
sir.
right, right,
Thank you,
right.
Shambhavi.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
I think what you can do actually, there should be an option that anybody who has got the link, he can automatically join. So as soon as they want to join, because many times their connection also gets break, so they can automatically join without bothering you, because every time you will have to admit them.
Sir, I have changed the settings that everyone can join, but even then, the guests who are outside
Not.
Amity, they are coming in lobby. But those who are from Amity or they are already, means I have joined them in this team, they are able to enter. But those who are new, they have
They
not
can.
been
Okay,
added to
sure.
the team, they are coming in the lobby.
Don't worry, don't worry. Right, so can we begin our lecture?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Wait, just hold on. Yes. So, okay, if the first thing which comes to all our mind is
Sir, you are
whatever
mute.
slides
No, sir.
I mute, okay?
Yes, it's audible now.
Okay,
You are audible.
okay. So what I'm going to do, that whatever slides I'm going to use, I have uploaded them here, and you can just download it. Right, and downloading is very simple. You just go to Google and type my name, Shalabh, and you will come to my home page. And on the home page, there is a link which I have given as MIT University. If you click on this, you will get a file like MIT.pdf. So that will be the file for the lectures of day one. Similarly, I will share the files of the day two and day three also. So that one, so you try to download it, and in the meantime, I will try to explain you how I'm going to move further. You see, my objective is not at
I
all
have, sir,
something like,
sir, 1 minute. I have taken this screenshot and put in the chat box. So if even after sir changes the slide, you can see this address from the chat box.
yeah. So that is pretty simple. You just go to Google and type my name, and that's all. After that, you can follow it very easily. So you see, my objective is not at all that I have to cover the course or I have to reach to this point. No, we are just going to start it, and we will try to understand as much as we can that we can absorb. Right. So there is no limitation like it means if the slides, if this file has 240 slides, so I have to cover all by evening. Means we can continue tomorrow also, and we may skip also some of the slides where you know, or the topic which are extremely simple, but you should only know. Right. So what I have done, I will try to explain you, and in the meantime, I'm sure that you must have downloaded the two software, R and R Studio, and must have installed on your laptop. Means if you have not done it, means in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will be explaining you about the R software. Then in the next 15 to 20 minutes, you can download and install the R software and R Studio software. Right. And what I have done, that I will try to explain you here, and then I will try to show you the same thing on the R software also. And I would request all of you to copy the same command from my file and try to execute it on the R console. Once you try to do it with your own hand on the R console, the fear of learning R will surely go away from your minds and hearts. Right, so that is my simple object here. So whenever you are trying to learn something, the first question comes here: why should we learn about this R? Right, so now this goes very simple. That whenever you are trying to work in any science, the use of software is very important. This is desirable, and moreover, this is a fancy part of any analysis, right? And software is used in mathematics, statistics, and some popular uh, uh, statistical software are like SPSS, SAS, Minitab, Stata, Matlab, etc. And similar to them, there is another software R, as simple as that. This R software was created by Ross Ahika and Robert Gentleman at the University of Auckland, New Zealand. And now it is being developed by the R development core team. Right. And R is, yeah, sometimes people do ask me that, okay, why R is called as R? So means I just look into a couple of literatures, and possibly one of the most convincing reason I got that because the two authors were their first name were beginning with R, so like Ross and Robert, so possibly they call it as a R, but means I can give you another reason why it is called as here R. Right, actually I can share you a story that in 1990s when this computers started to India, then there were some software also started coming at, means in the beginning there was no software like Windows. There was only MS-DOS, and all the softwares were only based on MS-DOS. So people used to do the programming on MS-DOS. They will use any software like as Basic, COBOL, Fortran, etc. They will try to create a file, and then they will try to execute it, and the outcome will be stored either in the file or that will be visible on the screen. Right. Then I still remember it was the time around 95 or so, means when this Windows came to India, or in fact Windows were invented around the later 90s also. So then people started working on this Windows, and they become very comfortable because they don't have to remember the commands. Earlier we used to remember the commands for this copy, paste, etc., etc. But now, with the help of Windows, they don't have to remember the command, and it was more user-friendly. So at that time, some of the software which were there earlier, like as Minitab on the DOS program, they were converted into the Windows one. But now, Windows has a problem that you can only click at the designated place. You cannot do anything of your own, and people were used to writing their own programs. So then there was a software S Plus that came, and S Plus was a software which was a combination of this sort of similar to like Windows. That in Windows you try to click somewhere and then you get the work done. Similarly, they had prepared some already. They had already prepared some programs like us to compute mean, variance, etc., etc. So it was similar to Windows that one can simply write here MEAN, and then one can compute the mean. And there was another option that one can do also own programming, right? So this was a combination of the both. So, and this was a very powerful software, and it became very popular, but it was very expensive. I have used it when I was doing my postdoc in US at that time, but in India it was very difficult to afford it. So then people started thinking that, okay, that's an expensive software, and why can't we create a similar software which can be free? And by that time, the concept of free software also coming into this society, because the cost of software were too high that they were beyond the reach of common people in a country like India and other countries. Right. So based on that, people started thinking on this R. And then they conceived this idea, and a couple of people gathered together, and then they started working. Then more people joined, and finally it was converted into so-called R development core team. Right. So now this project is available at this www.r-project.com, where one can download it for free at any time. And this was initially conceived in 1992. Its initial version came in 1995, but as you know, whenever something is free, people don't rely on it, and it was completely new. So then people started working on it, and the stable beta version came in, say, around 2000 or so. So initially people were not very confident to use R because that's a free software. That is the same story I always take in my class, that if your friend comes to you and somehow he or she asks you to, okay, that I can offer you a good cup of coffee or expensive coffee for free, you always get the first doubt. Instead of enjoying the coffee, the coffee in his or her company, you always start thinking that, okay, what is wrong there? Why he or she is trying to offer me a free coffee today? So the same thing happened with the R software also. People were very doubtful on the integrity of the R software, that this software can be sold at a very high price, and why somebody is trying to give it for free. Right. Okay, one thing, Miss, I can share with you, I am unable to see any one of you, only the screen is open before me. If there is anything, I think I would request Anuradha to just call me, Miss, otherwise I will not even come to know if there is a problem in the connection or something like this. Right. So, okay, so at that time people were not confident about this R, but then gradually people started using R, they gained confidence, and then Springer, Wiley, etc. They started publishing a series of books on the R software, and nowadays this is R is one of the highest paid IT skill and holds a largest share in the analytics sector. And now means initially the packages were starting. What are packages? I will explain you. But initially there were only a couple of packages, but now there are more than 10,000 packages to do different things. And then you can see that this is the latest data that I have got from the RE Studio, that how the number of pages, the number of packages started increasing drastically after 2013. Right. And these are the few popular companies which are using R, and I'm sure that if I show these names, and there are actually many more, and if I show the names of those companies, any student will be interested in doing this thing. So now if you try to see that when it is, what is the basic importance of the R software, one of the best feature is that that's a free software. Many times people are trying to use the paid software. I'm not against paid software, but surely I am a poor man. I am based on a government salary, so yeah, I cannot afford. So just to give you an idea that how much these software cost, I have taken the screenshots from their respective website. For this SPS right, it is with approximately 7,000 rupees per month for the base package per user. The base package means if you, for example, if you try to do the time series analysis, possibly you may have to buy a new package, and then that will call additional, and yeah, so then if you go for here SAS, it is 43,200 for the base programming. Now they are at the moment when I took this screenshot, possibly they were giving an offer of 55% off, so it was 15,000 rupees a month, or like this. And then they have different packages, so you can see the means I have highlighted it. So means you might be rich, but for me it is difficult to afford. Similarly, this Minitab is a wonderful software, and yeah, means if you try to see its cost is 2.34 lakhs or something like 1.12 lakhs per year per user. And I can share with you, a couple of years back I was recording a program on the same program in which I was going to use this Minitab so that people are comfortable, because that's a very user-friendly package. And about 3 years back, I purchased that software. Well, that was not from my pocket. That was from this the project money, because they wanted the course. At that time, that costed me around 70,000 rupees, and it was an academic license because I am working in an academic institution, and they were thinking that, okay, if I use it, that will go to thousands of students and people will try to buy their software. Well, I bought it, and recently, means after 3 years, I got the hard disk of my computer changed just about 2 weeks back. And then when I tried to reinstall it, it was showing that, okay, you have to contact the customer care that for the activation. I contacted, and they simply said now, starting from 1st January 2021, they have stopped supporting that version. Now you have to buy a new one. So means now if I want to have Minitab, I have to spend 2.34 lakhs from my pocket. So that's the real story. Right. So it is practically very difficult for us as a student, as an academician, as a government teacher to afford such a package. And it's not even for us. I know that many companies have started coming, they have started using the R software because they want to save the cost. So the question is, what are the other alternatives? So R is a possible alternative that all gives us a possible solution. And above all, you always have to keep in mind that when you are trying to use this R software, this saves you from the legal complication. Many times, many people are using the pirated software. They can do their computation, they can do their simulation, but it is not really possible for them to publish that work, because as soon as they write, okay, I have done this work, this analysis in this software, it is possible that a company, and if and then they have to report it in their research paper also. So as soon as they publish, the company can always ask you that, okay, when you had bought this software from us, so that will be something like stealing and theft of the software. So then, and it can really land us in big trouble. For example, plagiarism is now one thing. So it is similar to plagiarism, that you are trying to copy someone's work and without paying the royalty. Right. So this R software gives us it saves us from the legal complication, many things. And then sometimes people say that, okay, I will install it and nobody knows. But the fact is this, when we are connected to the internet, many information from our laptop is being transmitted automatically to different companies, different websites. Right. So now what is the R? That is the biggest question now. R is just like any other software. This is an environment for data manipulation, statistical computing, graphical display, and data analysis. What else do you do from any statistical software? And it provides you, just like any other software, it gives you effective data handling, storage of outputs, and simple calculation, complicated calculation, simulations, all are possible without any problem. Graphical display in hard copy, soft copy, they are possible. There is a programming language, one can write all possible programs, means simple programs, complicated programs, whatever you want. Right, and this is, as I said, the commands of R languages, they are very similar to the language that was used in the S plus software, and the language of the S plus software was actually called as S, right, because that was based on S plus software. So possibly, as I said, my logic also goes that because S language was very popular, so people use the name R so that this looks similar. Right. So many people in research, design, analytic form, they have started using this is the open source software. It is not like a black box. Even if you try to see that how what type of programming has been done, and even if you want to change the program, you can do it yourself. There are some programs which are already incorporated in the base package, and there are some programs which have been contributed by the people. What does this mean? For example, if many people might be interested in finding out the arithmetic mean, so they have created the base package in which they have given the option for computing the mean in an automated way. But suppose if somebody wants to conduct a time series analysis, so everybody would not be interested in that one. So for that, they have uploaded a package that if you want to conduct the time series analysis, you have to simply download the package. You have to just see how it is work, what are the different options, and then you can use it very easily. And the advantage is that a common person like us, we can also contribute in that package. So the advantage is that whenever I'm trying to do any research, or if I try to develop something, right, I can write a program, I can upload it on the art website. So anybody who wishes to use my program or use my research work, he can simply download that program and can simply execute it. So that will give us more acknowledgement, right? So now these are the different types of things because of which you can also think that, okay, you can switch to the R software without any problem. And yeah, as I said, means R has a statistical computing environment. The command can be saved, run, stored, just like other things. Statistical computation, graphical application, all are possible. And yeah, R is available for Windows, Linux, Macintosh, whatever you want. Right, all the graphics, I can promise you the type of graphics which you can create after a small practice in R. They are amazing. They can be viewed on the screen. They can be saved in a PDF or say PostScript format, whatever you want actually, right? And all sorts of concepts of the programming like as branching, looping, modular programming, etc., etc. Everything is available, whatever is available in a good programming language. And some tips like as, for example, using the arrow key, you can recall the real command, etc., etc. Using the escape key, you can come out of the program. You can cancel the command, just like any other program that is possible in R software also. So now I have given you a basic idea that why this R is important. So I'm sure that you must be convinced that that now you can learn R, right? And yeah, one thing before I start, let me try to give you that we all are used to of using the software which are Windows based, and many of us are using the paid software also. And whenever I ask the reason is very simple. Oh, sir, I don't care. My institute has bought it. My institute has purchased it. Or I have got a grant from the government of India and I have purchased the software from my project, etc., etc. Very convincing argument. But now, as an administrator, suppose I am the director of your institute or the head of the department of your institute, or I am somewhere in the government who is giving the funds. Means I give you an option. Okay, you are spending say 20 lakhs rupees per year on the purchase of any statistical software. And suppose there are 4 or 5 faculty members in the department who are going to use it. Or you have applied for a project in which you have demanded 5 lakhs of rupees for the software. Now suppose I give you an option. Okay, I am giving you the grant. Now you have 2 options. Either you use it in buying the software, or you take it as your consultancy charges, as your on premium.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir, your voice is breaking. Maybe because of wireless microphone.
Okay. So wait, I will just remove it. Can you hear me?
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear, sir. Now it's very clear.
Okay, so I will simply use it here directly here. So now I was telling you, now I give you an option there that either you can buy the software for those 5 lakhs rupees, or you can take it as your honorarium, legal way. And in the department also, I give you an option. Okay, your department has asked for the 20 lakhs rupees for the software. Okay, I am giving it to you. You are 4 or 5 faculty members. Either you try to use this money for the purchase of the software, or you take it as your honorarium in your salary. What are you going to do? Think honestly and decide. I'm sure that whatever you wanted to do in the paid software by paying 20 lakhs of rupees, that you can do in the R software, and at that time you will say, okay, better option is to take the 4 or 5 lakh rupees as a very honest income, and then I try to use the free software as such. So this is how we have to think. Yes, you can argue on social aspects that what will happen to those companies. Okay, those are, well, I'm not a social scientist, so I cannot answer those questions. But anyway, so let us try to understand that how are you going to begin. So you simply have to go to this website www.r-project.org, and from there you can download the R software without any problem. There are different platforms that are available, and I would also request you that when you are trying to work on the R software, there is always a helping software, and there are various helping software. And means I remember that earlier I used to use a software whose name is actually TIN. Right. So if I have given you here the slides, I mean this address. If you go to this address, sourceforce.net, etc., you can download it there. Now, a more popular software nowadays is the RStudio software here. So I would request you here that you try to please download this RStudio software from this site. That is very simple. If you just go to the site and try to just download it, you can do it very easily. So now I believe that these two softwares are on your laptop. Now I will try to show you that what will really happen if you try to start them. It means if you try to start the R software from your computer, means as soon as you click on the R icon, it will open here like this. Right, you can see here this R version 4 point, etc., etc., etc. All these details are there, and there is here a sort of arrow sign that you can see here in the red color. Actually, all this font, etc., they can be saved. Okay, I'm sorry, I have not changed the slide, my screen. So let me try to share the screen also. Right. Okay. Right. Can you now see this window here? That if you try to start your R software, you will get here this type of window, and here there is here a cursor which is like a arrow sign in red color, and all these things actually this the size of the font, etc., etc. This can be controlled from here. You can see here the size of the font, color, bold, etc. Whatever you want, you can use it according to your need, right? And so what I have done now here, you can see here very clearly that now I come back to my slides. Right, that in order to explain you here many things, I have taken here the screenshot, because yes, so switching before between these slides is not always convenient. So you means what you have seen just now, that is here this screen, right? So now the first thing comes over here, that as soon as you try to begin on any software, you always try to take some help. So in R, there are different ways in which you can take the help. The first simple option is that you start your R software and you come here in the help, and then you can see here there are many things which are happening here, right? And then there are different ways. The most simple way to take a help nowadays is that you simply go to Google or any search engine. You just try to type there some keywords. For example, you want to input the data in R, or you want to know how to read the Excel file in the R. You simply say Excel file R software. You will get many templates and documents where you will get this idea. And besides those things, there are a couple of websites which have hosted different type of discussion forum. So there also you can raise your question if you are not getting the answer of your query, right? So the third is that, for example, if you want to know about some command or some function, you see, function in the beginning, I will say whenever I'm using the word function, it is just like any other command of the R software, nothing more than that, right? So, well, I'm going to use this command at a later stage. And yeah, before I move further, let me try to clarify one thing, that whenever I have to teach this programming course or something like this, I have two options. That first, I try to take the entire theory part and I try to explain you. And then I try to show you application, but then the participant gets completely bored. So one of the best way to teach these courses is that I try to take some example, and by the end of the day, you come to know about all those commands. So I would request all of you that in the next 3 days, let us try to hold our hands together and we try to move further together. And once you are done, then I will leave you and then you are completely free. Right. So now there is a command here, read table. Actually, this command is used to read the data in the tabular format. Right. So now suppose you don't know about and you want to know the details about this command, you simply have to type here question mark and the command name like as here. Question mark read dot table. Listen, now I would request you, you all have, yes, I am assuming that you all have my files of this slide. So you can simply copy this command here, question mark read dot table, and try to paste it on the R console. This picture, which I have shown you here after I begin the R, this is called as R console. Right, so that's the name. So don't get scared if I say that, okay, you have to come to the R console. That means you have to begin the R programming and then you have to, and then this is here the place where you can type your command. So I would request you, can you please type this command on this R console on your computer here, there, and I will just give you some small time in which you can try. And if you are unable to do it, yes, I will request you at the end of the day, you have all the slides and I have given you here all the instruction step by step. You try to do it yourself also. Right. Okay, now once you do it, you will get here this type of screen that you can actually see. Right. You can see that once you give it, yeah, you need to have the internet connection actually, because that is an online help available, and this help has been provided by the person who has created this package. So obviously I believe that the best help can be provided by the inventor. So this is the help coming from the inventor. Right, okay. And after that, if you continue, you will see that there are many details like this one. I'm not asking you to read it. Right, this is exactly I'm trying to take here one example to show you that how you can get the help on these commands. Right, and if you try to read it here, all minor details about each and everything is given here. Now you can ask me here one question, that why should I read it? It is not an easy job. So now I will say, on your one hand, as a head, as a director, as a government employee, I have given you an option that you have 5 lakhs in your hand, and it is your wish whether you want to use it as your honorarium or you want to spend it in buying the software. So that is a very simple question which you have to answer yourself. Right. And similarly, now it means I have given you an example where you have to find out some the help of some known functions. Now suppose I don't know any function over here. I don't know, but I just know I want to input that data. So in that case, we have here one option here, help.search. Right. So in this case, what you have to give, you have to write down the parentheses, and within the double quotes, not single quotes, you simply try to type this data input. And once you try to do it here, then it will start like this. Now you can see actually why I am unable to show you very small things online, because if I try to do it, I have to change my screen 4 times. I have to share the screen 4 times. For example, when I come to the R console and then I try to type this command, and as soon as I type this command, this will come out of the R console and it will come on the internet here like this. So once again, I need to change my slide and then I have to come back. So yeah, so that will disturb your concentration also. So I would prefer here that I am giving you here exactly the screenshot, that if you try to type this help.search and within parentheses and within double quotes data input, you will get here this type of result. So I would request you that I'm going to take 10 seconds, 20 seconds and try to do it yourself. And after that, if you try to click on any of the link over here, you can get here all sorts of information. Right. So why don't you try to do it here? Yeah, usually I can afford to give you a time of 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not beyond this. Right. So now the fourth option is that you can simply type here help and the parenthesis or help dot start, simple the parenthesis, and you will see that as soon as you type it on the R console here, it means this type of internet page will open. Now it has all the things. Now whatever you want to know, everything is in the most detailed way. Maximum details are there here, all the usual manual, etc. Now it is your approach that how much you want to study and how much you want to learn from here, right? Okay, that is the same thing. If you try to see, means since last 1 year, many of my friends and including me, we had got COVID. I had no idea about COVID, but when it happened to us or to any of my family member, I tried my best to learn about COVID from different sources, and I read as much as literature what I can. So that is the same thing, that when the things comes on our head, and if we are interested, we can learn everything. So that is the same story here. You can always ask me why should I read that much. So I will say that if you want to help yourself, you have to invest something. Either you try to invest 20 lakhs of rupees or you try to invest some time in reading the material. Right. Okay. Now I try to come on the different aspects of getting the help. Have you seen that whenever you try to write a document in the MS Word, or you try to write some numbers in Excel, you always use a command find, or this is Control F, right? And you try to write down that where is this word or letter. So similarly, in the R software also, there means I'm going to introduce you with two functions. One is here find, and say another here is apropos, right? And these two functions, they also help you in giving an idea that what are these functions, where they are located, and what are they trying to do. So for example, if you try to see here, if you try to write down about here, there is a package here which is called as LOWESS, right? And suppose I want to know that where is this this package, right? So now let me try to show you on the R console also. So I try to click it here. And now I try to share here my R window here, right? So, okay, one thing you can see here, if you want to clear the screen, the command here is Control L. So you try to press your Control key, this is CTRL key, and simultaneously press here L, right? So I will press here Control and L together, and you can see that this has cleared the screen. And now I have copied the command, and if you try to see here, this is find lowest. So this is giving me an idea here. Okay, this is a command which is situated in the package whose name is stats, right? So now if you want to use this command, and if this package is not available in your R software, you can install it. Okay, how to get it done? I will try to introduce it soon. Okay, so now let us come back to our slides. So now you can see here that in order to change my slides, it takes some time. Okay, so now this is about this here, like this one. And similarly, there is here means another command here, apropos. So this command gives you an idea. For example, if you have only a little idea, so suppose I need only 2 letters and I can recall that, okay, I had used the command. That command I cannot recall, but there were 2 letters LM in that command. So what I can do, it is something like trying to find out all the words in which the 2 letters L and M are occurring together. So now I can type here, see here like this, apropos LM, and you can see here that as soon as you type here apropos and within double quotes this LM, it gives you here a long list. And now you can see here in every of the command there are 2 letters LM. This is here LM, this is here LM. In fact, there is here the command here is column means, but now here is still there is here LM, right? So you can see here that in all the packages here there is here an LM. So now after looking into these commands, you can find out, you can recall that, okay, which of the commands you had in your mind. One thing I can explain you before I move further, these are very small things, but sometimes they become here, they create some confusion. You can see here that there is a number here 1, and then the number here is 4, and the number here is 7. What are they indicating? They are simply indicating the location of this command. For example, you can see here, this is position number 1, position number 2, or the position number 3, and now this command here is in position number 4, then 5, then 6, and then this is here 7, and this is here the position number 7 here. Right. So, and if you try to increase the width of your screen, if you try to maximize it, these numbers will change, but content will not change. That is what you have to just keep in mind. So I'm sure that by that time I'm trying to explain you must have copied and use this command on your R console. Right. So that is the way I'm trying to work on it, that you have my slides, you can open the slides, and in the meantime I'm trying to explain you about this command. You can simply copy this command and you can execute it on the R console. For example, I can show you here very simply here that in the time I'm trying to explain you the utility, you just copy the command, and for example now I come to here R console here, right, and I try to paste it here, and then you can see here you will get the same outcome. And now you can see here this number is going to be changed, and if I try to increase the width of this here window, you can see here very clearly that by arrow key I can repeat the command, and now these numbers are going to be changed. Right, and every component is giving you an idea here that there are 2 alphabets L and M which are present here. So that is how you have to proceed further. Okay. Now. Right. So similarly, do you remember that in your childhood, whenever you were trying to learn any new topic, you would always like to find some solved example, particularly in mathematics. Whenever you wanted to learn differential, integral, you always try to solve some examples, and then once you can understand those examples, after that you can solve the unknown problems. So similarly, in the case of this R software also, this every command has been given, and most of them have been explained by some example. For example, you might have heard about the linear regression modeling. Right, that is the way to find out the statistical model, and in the R software we have a command here LM which is used for this statistical modeling. So now suppose you want to know this R command, and I don't know how to use it, so let me try to have an example. That is your wish. So the command here is very simple. Example, you simply write EXAMPLE, and inside the parenthesis you try to write down the command, say LM, whatever you want to see. Okay, now, for example, if you try to, means in the meantime, I would request all of you to just type it example, and then inside the parenthesis, you try to write down here LM. You will get here this type of information. Actually, this is only the party screenshot. After this, there are many things. So they are trying to take an example from this book, an adoption and introduction to generalized linear model, the page number 9, plant, weight, data, these are the data set. Okay, at this moment, you will not be able to understand what they are trying to write, but I promise you, after today's means in the evening today, you will be most comfortable in understanding each and everything. This is just like reading the horoscope. If you try to see, I don't know much about it, but there are horoscopes in which they have written something like this, some Chandra, Mangal, Brihaspati. I don't know anything about it, but then the one who knows that horoscope science, they can read this horoscope very well, but we cannot write. So in a very similar way, I'm trying to make you learn here how to read the horoscope of this data through this R software. Right, so you can see here these types of comments will be there and you can understand. Similarly, whenever we are trying to learn something and we feel comfortable, if somebody can demonstrate it, for example, particularly when we are trying to learn the cooking. So many times when my daughter wants to learn the cooking, she will ask my wife, means her mom, that, okay, can you just show to me how to do it? And she will give a demonstration, and then she will be more comfortable in cooking. Right. So similarly, in the R software also, we have a demonstration facility, and the command here is demo, DEMO. And suppose means there is a command here that here PERSP pers. So PERSP is a command by which you can create a 3D surface plots, and I don't know how to use it. So I will simply write down here demo PERSP. And you also try to do it. Means please don't only listen to me, but you try to work also. Otherwise, you will feel sleepy. Right. And if you try to do it here, you will get here the first screenshot here like this. And after that, if you keep on increasing, just press your space bar to come to the next screen. Right. Means after you have something comes, try to press escape, space bar. You will come to the next screen, and then they have given here one more example of this command, and you will see that there are many beautiful graphics where they have tried to show you that how you can show it. For example, here they have given the programming that how one can create this type of surface plots. So don't you think that if I ask you to create this surface plots manually, that is nearly impossible? But if you try to use any paid software, I'm sure that only expensive softwares might be able to do it. But now you are doing it for free. So now I'm sure that by the time I was trying to explain you must have done this exercise on your R software also. Right. Okay, one thing before we move further. You see, one message which I always give in all the workshops, whether they are physical, they are conducted at my place, or if I go anywhere. You see, these workshops are not coming for free. They are expensive affair, and thankfully government is supporting it. And then secondly, you also have got a leave from your institute. You are going to spend your couple of days in this workshop. So there are two options, that you keep your screen open, switch off your video, and enjoy the life at your home, at your office, and because you have a wonderful excuse that, okay, I am on the duty leave for this workshop. And second thing is this, okay, instead of doing this thing, if you spend some time in this workshop, I promise you that is going to change your life, because I don't know whatever I'm teaching you, whether they are going to be useful today or tomorrow or the after tomorrow, but surely they will try to inculcate a new way of thinking that how you can do. And then once you are trying to do it, try to learn it as simple as that. Wait. So now there is another command here, graphics. So, and suppose we want to know about the details about the graphics. So you simply have to write down here demo, and inside the parenthesis you write graphics, and you will get here this type of color wheel. And once again you try to keep on pressing your space bar, you will get here more graphics, right? So you can see here it is not difficult. And yeah, in case if you want to quit the R from the R software, the command here is simply here Q, and you try to write down the parenthesis, and you will come out of the R software. But remember one thing, whenever you are trying to quit, then our software will ask you, do you want to save the workspace? There will be two answers, yes or no. What does this actually mean? When you are working on the R software, many things are there which you have already done. You have used couple of commands. So when you are trying to quit, there are two options. Whatever you have done, that can be saved, so that next time when you log in, those things are here on. And the second option is that, okay, we cannot do anything here. We don't want to use it, so I don't want to save it. So now, depending on your need, you try to press yes or no. Okay. So now we come to another aspect. Now I have given you sufficient information about that, how you can obtain how you can get the help. Now we have got sufficient help, and now we have to learn how to work. Right. Yeah, one thing, please don't mind while I give this lecture. Means I keep on gulping some water, some tea, or some liquids which keeps my throat wet. Otherwise, you can imagine that speaking for such a long time continuously is not an easy job for me. But still, I'm trying my best. So, okay, let us try to understand here one more very important concept, that is the library. I will say you simply try to think yourself that what do you mean by the word library and how do you operate on it. The libraries are there in all the colleges, universities, institutes, wherever they are working. What do? They always try to give some. They always have some books, and whenever you want to learn something new, you simply try to go to the library. You will try to look at the books. You will find the suitable books, and then you will try to read that book there, or preferably you will try to bring it to your home. The book is issued for a week, for 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever is the rule of the library. And after you read it, you give it back to the library. Now, in case if I ask you, if suppose this thing doesn't happen, then what will happen? That you cannot buy all the books, and you don't have a space at your home also to keep all the books. So what do? You get the book from the library, you read it, and once you are done, you give it back to the library so that the space at your home is also not occupied. The same thing happens in the R software also, when this R software is developed, there are a couple of things which are easy to do, which many people need, like as finding out the mean, sum, multiplication, difference, etc., etc. So what they have done, they have created a base package, and in the base package they have combined all these small functions together, so they are usable for all. But there are some special type of things. Suppose somebody wants to use the time series analysis, somebody wants to use the spatial analysis. So now if they try to incorporate all those features in the base package, the size of the base package will become very large, and it will take much a longer time to download it, install it, space requirement, etc., etc. So what they have done, they have divided the entire package into two parts. One part, which is the base package. As soon as you install the software, those packages will be there, and the remaining special packages, they have uploaded it on the website of the R software, so they are always there. So the thing is this, whatever package you want to use, you have to download it, you have to install it, and after installing you have to use it. So this command library, this helps you in bringing a package which is already there installed on your laptop or say computer to a working space. So this is just like the library, that whenever I need a book, the book is already there. If the book is not there in the library, I cannot issue it. So first I have to buy the book, I have to keep it in the library. Now I will bring it. As soon as I bring it, as soon as I finish the job, I will give it back. So this library is a command. And remember one thing, that when you purchase the book in the library, that is there. So you want to bring it to your table, to your office, to your home, so that you can read it. So this library command helps you in bringing a package to the working space. After that you can work. And remember one thing, as soon as you switch off your, or you quit from the this R console,
Sir,
after
sir,
that you have to.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, there is one. Sir, he is continuously writing that this library command is not working. Actually, R is case sensitive. You have to give space after the bracket.
Wait, no. No. If you try to write down here this library special, I'm just coming to this part.
No,
Yeah,
no, sir. This
means
dot
if you
wala part. This above
wait.
command.
No. This is only an indication. Means here inside the bracket means the dot means here you have to write the name of the package.
Okay.
Right, means that is actually that is the way we always write. Say, okay, if I want to write down here the file name, I will say like this here. That is the standard programming language like here.
Okay.
So
And
this
there is
this
one
will
more,
not work. This is only an indication that this is a command. Right. So now this, okay, and then you have to just wait for a couple of minutes. I will tell you that. Okay. So this library command is simply trying to bring the package from your library, which is installed in your laptop, to your workplace. But before that, you have to install it also. Right. So now there are two types of packages, or there are two types of libraries. One type of libraries which are built in inside the R software, and second you have to download it. So now if you try to do it here like this, if you try to install here this library MASS, and yeah, as another said, this is correct. I will tell you at a later stage, but I can now inform you that R is a case sensitive. Small is small and capital is capital. So for example, there is a package here MASS and all in capital alphabets. So actually this is a package that was associated with the book of S plus modern applied statistics using S plus. So they have taken here the M, this is here the A, this is here the S, and this is here the S, and they have created the package S. So this is a built-in package which is already contained in the base package. But there are many packages which are not available in the base package, so they have to be first installed, right? So so you have to just a couple of minutes before I complete this topic, and then you can experiment on it. So now suppose you have got here a package which is whose name is spatial, and you want to know what is there in the package, what is the detailed information, because as I said that R is not a black box, right? So if you want to get the information on the this package, you can use here the command library, and within parentheses, if you simply write here help equal to and the name of the package. Here I am using spatial as only as a particular example. Then you will get here this type of thing, whatever are, what is the version, priority, package, etc., etc. So essentially we are not actually going to use it, and you will see here this type of detailed information, that who wrote that package and when it was built up, etc., etc. For example, if you want to do it, you can just use here say library help equal to mass, capital M, capital A, capital SS, and then you will get the information about the mass package also. Right, but definitely before this, before the using the library, you first need to buy the book. So first, let me try to explain you how are you going to buy the book, or how are you going to download and install the packages on your computer. Actually, when I was trying to prepare the slides, I had two options. Either I tried to first explain you that how to install the package and use the library, or first I explain you about the library and then I try to explain you how to install the package. So the confusion was that if I don't tell you what is a library, what is a package, then students will get confused that what are we trying to install it. So I thought that, okay, let me try to first give you an idea what is library, and then I will show you that how to install it. Right, so anyway, so now these libraries, these packages, they are available on the website of R Software. I have to bring it from there on my laptop. So for that, I have here a command here, install.packages. So suppose I want to install here a packages, something like a BSDA. That is a package which is associated with the book Basic Statistics and Data Analysis, and this actually helps in conduct of test of hypothesis that we are going to do at a later stage. So I will suggest you that you try to install it on your own computer by writing, this is the style, install install dot packages, packages, and within the parenthesis inside the double quotes you have to write BSDA. Okay, here I would like to give you a caution. If you are trying to copy and paste this command from this PDF file into your R console, sometimes this double quotes creates a problem, because that is actually vertical, but as soon as you copy, this becomes horizontal, something like tilted. So I would say, Anson, this is a very common mistake. So I would request you that whenever you are trying to write this double quote, try to type it inside the R console. There is a key on your keyboard, means on the Windows part, it is just on the left hand side of the enter key, and that can be obtained using the shift key. So there is a double quote sign, so you have to use that sign. Even if you are trying to copy and paste the command from MS Word or say PowerPoint file, this vertical sign becomes something like a tilted, and it is something else which is not actually the sign which R wants to use. So just be careful. So if you simply try to use here this command install.packages, or you can use install.packages, say R meta, which is the package to do the meta analysis. Right, then you will first get here this type of thing. Right, so it will ask you that there is a list of different places in different countries. So so now you have to choose a place from where you want to download this R package. You can choose any country, you can choose any place, means everywhere the software is the same. Because what really happened, that when the popularity of the R became very high, then it was needed that this software should be available. So if this software is available only at one place, then the load on the server will become too high many times and the server may crash. So what they did, so different this academic organization, they shared the responsibility, and including India, I don't know at this moment, but earlier first IT Madras and then myself, Bhubaneswar, they were hosting this R software on their servers also. Right, so so this software is the same, but it is available at different places. So wherever you want, you can just choose any country. I can choose here Australia, and then as soon as you say here Australia, you will get here this type of next screen. So you can see here this is installing the package, and finally it will say that it is successfully unpacked, and whatever is the programming language, I'm not bothered about, but finally I will be looking at the end whether the package has been successfully installed or not. So I will request you that you please try to do it, and if not now, means it will take say 1 or 2 minutes of time. So I will say that whenever we have a break during that time, you please try to use this command, and this will go exactly in the same way. But for this, you need to have internet connection in your laptop. First thing, Second thing is this, when you try to install it, it will be installed only on your laptop where you have done it. Sometimes people get confused that, okay, they have installed it on their office laptop and then at home they are working on a different laptop. So they get confused, okay, I install it where it is. So this is only a local process, and the software will be available only on that computer, only on that laptop where you have installed it. Right. So, okay, so now once you have installed this package, and similarly, if you try to use here this R, and also I have shown you here the screenshot so that if you are getting any mistake or error in the installation, you have to check at your end your internet connections. But it is working. That is why I have shown you here the screenshot so that you can believe that these things are working. Now, once these packages are downloaded, then you try to use here this command here, library. For example, once you have downloaded this package here, for example, here this BSDA, then you can use here the command here, it means library, and inside the parentheses within the double quotes, right, you have to use here BSDA. Yeah, sorry, means with the mouse it is difficult to write. Right. Okay, anyway. So then this package will be there, and now you can use the command which are based on this package. So this is what you always have to keep in mind. Okay, so now let us try to, so now you have installed the software, you have learned how to install a package, how to take the help, how to load a library. Now let us try to work on the first let us try to understand how we can work on the R software. So as I shown you that this was the screen that you got after you start the R software. So this is called as R console, and this is the place here where you have to type all your commands, and this is called as command line. Means I can share you very honestly, in the beginning when I was trying to learn, this was a very difficult task for me to understand the language, and whenever you try to read from somewhere, people will say, okay, go to the R console and try to type the commands on the command line. It was a very confusing language for me. What is R console? What is command line? But later on, I found that these are very simple thing, and possibly these are the problems which create a sort of fear inside our heart to means again this R software. Well, okay, so now whenever you are trying to work on the R software, your data, your files, you would like to store at one place. There are two options. Either the R will use its inbuilt directory, or if you want to set your own directory where your input and outputs are going to be there. So for that we have a command here, set WD, that means set working directory. And then the way you have to write it down is that within the parentheses, within the double quotes, you have to write down the location of the directory which you want to access. For example, on my computer, I have created a directory here, say whose name is R course on the C drive. So I can write down here set WD within this parenthesis. Within this double quotes, I will write down here the C colon / R course. Right, but yeah, one thing I should request you all, that don't think that you will have to remember all these commands. There is a way out, that when we try to use the any associated package like an RStudio, which I'm going to explain you how to use it. That's a very simple software. Then you don't need to remember all things. You can simply here click, but definitely when you are going to work directly on the R software, then you need to remember these things. Right. So, but practically you will not have to remember anything, because I would strongly recommend you to work on the associated software like RStudio. Yeah, please don't misunderstand that I am trying to propagate or I'm trying to advertise the RStudio. RStudio means I had to choose one. Either I try to use the 10R or this RStudio means I can choose anyone, but that is our habit at IT Kanpur to go with the latest possible thing. So since R Studio is the latest software, so I thought that, okay, let me try to use this R Studio. Right, okay. Yeah, don't worry, that's only black tea. Right, and yeah, I mean, there's another option. For example, if you are going on Apple and Macintosh, also you can use this type of front slash. Hello.
Sir, a small doubt. Like
Yeah.
I have given this command set WD and I have mentioned the command. And in case wrongly, if I have typed a command, I get a plus symbol there on the screen, on the console itself.
Wait. Your voice is very low. Wait. Let me try to come closer to my laptop so that I can hear your voice. Yeah, please say again.
I'm saying, sir, I have given this set WD command with a part in the bracket. And suppose while typing a command, something goes wrong. Let it be instead of colon, I type double quotes or something else, and the command happens to be incorrect. In that case, in the next line, I see a plus sign. How can I get back to the command prompt?
You just have to press the escape key.
Which key, sir?
Actually, yeah, I will come on that aspect. But since you have asked, I can show you here on the directly on the R console actually. So I think that will be a better option because you have. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think, and even if you ask me at any time, any one of you, I will be more than happy to answer your questions. For example, now can you see this R software?
Yeah, sir, it's visible. Yeah, it's visible.
Now, I just first clear the screen by pressing Control L. Right. Suppose I want to find out here the mean of say two numbers 2 and 3. So actually I have to give it here like this, right? You will get here 2 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 2.5. Now suppose I am writing this command and suppose I forget to type here the last bracket and I enter here. So now I will get here a plus sign if I try to make here one more enter, and this enter will continue. So now I have two options, means if I have understood my mistake, then I can correct it. The way to correct the mistake is only one, that is you try to complete the statement. So I can complete this command just by typing here the bracket sign. As soon as I say here bracket sign, the command is complete. Or if I try to do it, if it is coming out here like plus plus, so I can use here the escape key. Escape key will bring me out. So the meaning of this plus sign is only that your command is still continuing. That is not closed. Right? Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, means all of you, please feel free to ask me anytime. Means I have no problem. I will not get disturbed with any of these things. Right. Okay. So now, so this is the command for here set WD, and yeah. And now suppose you are working and you have forgotten that what is my working directory. For that we have a command here get WD. Like here GETWD, and then you have to simply write here the parenthesis. Right, and then you will get here, this is your working directory. Right, so these are the two basic commands that you will need in the beginning. So now when you are trying to write down the commands in the R software, there are two options. Just like any other programming language, you can write the command line by line.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt once again. So when I gave set WD command, I got an error saying that I cannot change the working directory. Do we have
no? First, first that directory has to be there, because your data is available in that directory. So whatever directory is available on your CNI drive, try to give that address. I have taken only an example.
Okay, right, got it.
Right. Means if you try to, it I can show you here that, well, on my computer, this directory is there.
Okay.
Possibly. So if I try to write down here like this. Right. You can see here at this moment, if I try to type here get WD, it will give me here. This is my directory, some users, Shalabh, documents. But if I try to say here list set course, because I don't have this working directory on my computer. So what if I try to create a directory here on my here I can do it here. Means I can simply go to my C drive and I can create here. Now I'm going to create here a directory here, R course. Right, and now I come back to your here slide. Right, now I have created this directory, and if I try to see here, now this is here like this. And now in case if you try to see here get WD, this is here like this. So you need to create your directory on the
Okay, okay, thanks.
So that data has to be there. Right, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. So in R you have two options. Either you can write all your commands line by line, or you can also write in a program file. Right. So when you are trying to write the program, then it is always advisable to write it at a separate place. Why? Because once you are trying to write the type the program means a couple of lines together inside the R console, and if you make a single mistake at any line, the program will be terminated, and then you will be come back to the prompt sign. Then you will have to type all the commands once again. So better is the way I do it. I simply use the notepad. I try to type my commands there, and then I simply try to copy and paste over there. Well, the same facility is there inside the R software also, and the same facility is there in the R Studio also. Right, so I will now try to show you here how you can do here. That first option is this: if you just open your R software, and there is an on the menu bar there is here R GUI, right, and then you just click there file and then new script. You will get here like this. Means that this is your here R GUI, then here file, and means I can wait. So this is your here R GUI window, and this is here file, and then you can see here source R code, new script, open script, etc. etc. So as soon as you say here new script, it will open a new file for you, right? And then based on that, you can type your program, and all your commands will be saved over there. And if you want to execute any command, what you have to do, you have two options. First, you try to write down all the programs, complete your file, and then you execute it. Second option is that if you want to execute any program in between. So suppose you want to execute a particular line. So what you have to do, you have to simply highlight it, and then just press Ctrl R. Then only that part of the line will be executed on the R console, right? So, and yeah, the same facility can be there in the R Studio also, in a very simple way. So at this moment, I am simply trying to explain you that these are the facilities, and then I will try to show you on the R software and R console also that how these things are working, right? And then yeah, means if you want to remove all those commands or any variable, the command here is RM. So as soon as I write here RM means something here like this. That means here you have to write something. For example, if there are three variables X, Y, and Z, and I want to remove it, my command will be RM, and inside the parenthesis X, Y, Z. Right, so this is how you can remove your programs. For example, if you means I can show you here that what do I mean by this creating this uh, things. Okay, so let me try to come on the R console. Right, so you can see here, suppose if I try to make here x equal to 230 and y is equal to, suppose I say 456. Now I can just type here x. I will get here the value of x, and if I try to type here y, I will get here the value of y. Wait, okay, I can show you that if I want to increase the font size, I have made it 16, but I think I can make it here more better, say to 22. So this will increase. That will make the things more clear. So now you can see here that I have created here x and y. Suppose I want to remove here, say here x. So I will simply write down here rm x, and then you can see here there is no value of here x. And suppose if I suppose still I have here two values, x equal to 56 and y equal to 456, and suppose I want to remove both the values, I simply have to rm x comma y. Now you can see here there is no x and there is no y. Right? And if I want to clear this screen, you simply have to press Ctrl and L together. Right, okay, so now let me come back to my slides. Right, okay. Right, so now I try to give you an idea about the RStudio software. Now you can start this RStudio software by just clicking on the icon. And you will see here this type of structure. Right, can you see? So you will see that there are here 4 windows here, which I have renamed as window 1, window 2, window 3, and window 4. So this RStudio is something like a help to the R software. Means many of you, those who cook at home, if you have to create a curry, what you try to do, you try to take different ingredients like a dhania, haldi, salt, pepper, black pepper, red pepper, etc., etc. And you used to put them individually in the curry. Right, and then the curry is going to be cooked. The second option is this: you have seen that there are different brands like as MDH, Everest, etc., etc. They have got a curry powder or something like this. So what they have done, they have mixed all those spices together in the correct proportion, so that instead of remembering the correct proportions of 4 or 5 ingredients, you can directly use it. Right, so this RStudio is something like a helping hand, which is trying to get all the things done at a single place. So these four windows, if you try to have a look what is written on their menu bars, that itself will give you an idea what they are trying to do. Right, but I will explain you shortly. So let us try to understand here that suppose we want to use RStudio. If you come to here, window number here 1, this is the place where you can type your commands. This is just like as you have opened the file of new script in your R software. So this is the place where you can write your program. And if you try to look into this window number 2, what is this? Can you identify it? This is the same window here which you were getting in the RStudio. This is simply your R console. And this is here the window number 3, where you will see that all sorts of information, that what variables you have defined, what variables you have used, etc., etc. This will be there. There is a command here, import a data set, means if you have a data in a TXT file, Excel file, or any different software, possibly from here you can import that data into our software and then you can use it. This is here means for cleaning all the variables, for removing the variables. It is just like you have used here the command here rm. So now you don't need to remember the command here rm, but you simply have to click here but it will delete all the variables. So you have to be very careful, right? Similarly, you can see here in this here fourth window here, there are different types of things: files, plots, packages, help, viewer, etc., etc. So you can see, and then here there is new folder, there's a delete, rename, and there will be many options are there, right? So just now I have, for example, these can be used in different ways. I have just explained you how are you going to install a package and how are you going to load the library. Now I will try to show you that these are very simple things when you are trying to do it with the this RStudio directly without remembering any command. So this is about window number 1. You have to simply type your commands over here, and whenever you want to execute this program, there are different ways. For example, if you want to run only a particular line or a set of line, a set of selected lines, just highlight them and then try to press here run. So that will just give you the output in the R console window here, right? Similarly, and then there are many things. I would request you that whenever you have some free time, try to play with it. The simple approach to learn a software is to play with the software, try to learn what they are trying to do. For example, if you try to see here, if you try to press here in here file and then here there is a R scripted section, and then now many things are there, are markdown, shiny. They are some advanced thing. Those things are all are here actually. Yeah, you can save the command here. You can, and means you can do many things. And if you want to rerun the same command here, there is a this icon here. You simply have to click here. So working with the R becomes very easy when you are trying to work with the R software. Similarly, means, for example, I can show you here. Now you can means type a command over here and you simply have to highlight it. Next step, you just come here and then try to say here run, and then you will see here that in the bottom, in the window number 2 in the R console, this command will come here. This I will try to show you here. Let me try to show you here on the R console itself. Okay, so I try to share my this RStudio window now. You should be able to see my RStudio window here, and you can see here from here you can increase the width and length, height, etc., whatever you want here. Right. So I can show you here. Suppose if I want to load the use the command here library, I can simply, and then you can see here as you are typing, it is also helping you that you can use it directly here. Suppose if I write here MASS, and then actually as soon as you type here MA, it will try to identify and you can click here. Now you can try to now look into the window number here 2. I will try to show you here. First I try to clear the screen just by pressing here Control L. So it is now Control L. Now you can see here there is nothing. Now as soon as I highlight it, and as soon as I press here on the command here run, you have to see what happens here in the R console here. Right, so now I press here 1, 2, 3, run. You can see here this command is executed here. Right, so because that is the soul of the software. Right, and here means if you want to import any data set, you can say here there are different options. You simply have to just click and then upload it, and it will do the remaining of the job. For example, means a couple of days back I was analyzing some data in which I had a variable here, fever, rashes, severity, etc. That was some COVID data. So now it is showing me that okay, the fever data was a character. It has 66 values like here, like this, right? All the values are given here. Then similarly here, this here, rashes on the third line, this was also a character, 66 values here, like here, 1, 0, etc., etc., right? And similarly, if you try to come here, this here, history will show you what you have done in the past. For example, yesterday I was working on this data set, so you can see here that all those commands are here on which I was working. And then here, connection, some tutorial, etc., etc. Right. Now I come to here, fourth window. Tell me one thing, can you see my window clearly or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, means sometimes I get confused whether the things are clear on my screen or not. So suppose now I want to install a package here. So I means earlier I had told you install.packages command. For example, if you come here, if I want to install a package, I simply press here install. And if I try to say here BSDA, now you can see here, this comes over here. And as soon as you say here, this install, this will install the package over here, right? But you need to have an internet connection over here. And suppose if you want to load it using the command library, suppose if I say here whether this BSDA command is not here, I will try to install it. But suppose I want to use here a command here or a package here, say a cluster. So you can see here, as soon, yeah, that I had already installed it earlier. So as soon as I say type here CLU, it will come here, cluster here like this. So now if you try to look into this part here, you simply have to make it here, say here text box, and you have to see on the R console what will happen. So as soon as I say here click, you can see here this library command is executed, and this cluster library for doing the cluster analysis it is on my computer. Right. Similarly, if you try to see here, what are the different files which are available in my working directory, that is given here. Now, if you want to create any plot, for example, I can take here, I can show you here, I can take here the data here like this, say 1, 2, 3. And suppose I try to take here one more data here, y is equal to, see this is the command to combine the data. I will tell you 4, 5, 6. And suppose I want to make here a plot, simple plot. I say plot x comma y. So now you can see here, I want to execute all the 3 commands over here. So I try to highlight them and I press here run. You can see here that this graphic is created here by this command here, plot. And if you want to see it here more clearly, you can say here zoom. Yeah, this is a compress because the window is small, but now you can see here this command, this plot is very clear, 1 and 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here, right? And similarly, if you want to save it, you can save it here, save as image, save as PDF, whatever you want, you can just do it as per your wish. And similarly, if you try to come here help, suppose I want to have some help on some command, say here matrix, since I don't know. So as soon as I type here MATR, it will give me here different options which are available with this matrix. Suppose I say here matrix, so you can see here I am getting here all the details about the matrix command. So this is the same thing which you would have obtained using the help commands. All those things are here, and if you want to know something more about something, you can say here, you can just click here and it will give you the details about other things. Right, so you can see here that working with R is not difficult, particularly when you are working with this R Studio actually. Right, so you can see here these are the different options which are available here. Now I try to come back to my slides, and exactly the same thing I have tried to show you in my slides here. Right, okay. So yeah, I mean, this is the same thing I have given here. You can try it yourself, that you can try to use your attached bacteria, fixed bacteria. So these are the data retest actually. I will request you that you simply try to just copy and paste in the window number 1 and try to execute it. You will get here this type of window that is showing that there is some data set whose name is bacteria, which is available inside the mass, and you can simply use it here. Right, that is not difficult at all. And yeah, I mean, as I shown you, this is the window number 2. This is your R console here, where all the execution of the data will happen. Right, and this is the third window where I have shown you that from here you can import the data set and different information about the variable that is available here, what you have done in the past. The history will tell you about all those things. And similarly here in this window number 4, you can see here that there are different commands here: plots, packages, help, viewer, etc., etc. So now I have explained you that how you can execute these commands on the RStudio directly. And yeah, I mean, this is the same thing. Suppose if you want to load any software, you simply have to just search it in the search window, and then you have to just click it and it will execute the command library and the package will be installed without any problem. Right. So that is the same thing as I shown you about the matrix. So in this screenshot, I'm giving you an example for the histogram. Right. So yeah, means I have given you an example. Okay, I took the example of plot. Simply, if you want to make a histogram here, just try to use this data set 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, etc. And yeah, I mean, just try to type the data set here. Right, means type the data set here and try to use the command here HIST, and then you will see here that this type of histogram will appear here, and this value of variable here that will be stored here. So you can see that the advantage of RStudio is that now it is giving you all such information at a single place. Window 1, window 2, window 3, window 4, and then you can see all the things at a same time. But in the R, you will not be able to see all the things. For example, in R, unless and until you use the command dir, you will not be able to see what type of variables you have used. Right, and in order to save them as a PDF, PostScript, etc., etc., you will have to do something more. Remember one thing: I'm not saying that whatever can be done in the directly on the R Studio cannot be done in the R console. The same thing can be done in the R console, but it may be a longer route. But what I will be doing here, because that is your choice, whether you want to use RStudio or you want to do it in the R console or you want to do any of the free software. So I will try to show you all the example, all the exercises only on the R console, but the same thing you can also exercise in the RStudio also, nothing more than that. So now I think I will stop here, and in the next lecture I will try to give you this calculations part, that how you are going to do the calculations in the R software, and then possibly that will be the more interesting part. But this was a lecture where I wanted to make you fear-free, that R is not difficult as it looks, and R is a very friendly software, provided you want to have the help. That is something like this: if you have some friends who don't speak much, then you try to always but it doesn't mean that they are not friendly, and there are some friends who are very talkative. So R is a friend which does not speak much, but you have to ask it.
Sir,
So
I can move ahead for queries, because some people are messaging that they have some doubts. So can
right. So in fact, yeah, I can.
No raised hand is there.
Wait, I can see here. Where is this? Where are these questions? Can I also see?
In the chat box, you can see the questions, sir.
Okay.
So one query is mine.
Where is the check box? Possibly I am missing it.
Let me show you.
This is show participants. Okay.
Participant के just next में. There is one icon of chat.
Pardon, pardon?
Next. Ma'am, please
That
mute
there is a
yourself.
raised hand.
Please
More
mute yourself.
Huh?
There is someone who has unmuted, so we are able to hear sounds. Sir, next to the chat, you can see the 2 number on the participants. 2 number on the participant. Just next to that.
After that, there is nothing on my screen.
Sir,
Means
just
after
one
this number 2, hide participant, there is nothing, only raise hands.
Let me show you, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, your only name is coming.
So this one, this icon,
yes.
Sir. This icon.
Yeah, I'm not getting this icon on my screen.
You are not getting this icon on
wait,
screen.
Wait. I can share my own screen, then you will be able to see it. Right, can you now see this screen? Means I'm not getting this icon on my control.
Window. Okay. So,
sir, let me read out.
Madam, this is the same for all the
participants.
Nobody is having the chat option. Please look into it.
Just 1 minute. Yes, Anuradha ma'am, you can speak. Unmute yourself and you please speak.
I just wanted to ask whether in our console, is there a provision to get the history of commands which we have tried out?
Yes. Means in the R, it is possible. There is a command history, but in the R Studio, you can simply click on the button. Whatever commands are given on the R Studio, they are all possible inside the R console without any problem. The only thing is this, you have to know what is the right command.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and to all the participants, means you can use Hindi and English, both the languages. Rest I don't know.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, Sam.
Yeah, sir. I am Basavaraj from Karnataka State. Sir, you can use that x equal to c of 1, 2, 3. That variable. C means.
Yes. Actually, now I will try to explain everything in the next lecture. C is for combining. So I am writing here C, and then inside the parenthesis the value. So the R will understand that it has to read all the values 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, so that I will try to explain you in the next lecture.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. You told to use the command history to get the list of commands which I have tried earlier, right?
Yes.
So when I type history, I got a program being written in R.
Yes. So in fact, it's not only history. Actually, that will be history within the parenthesis. Means if you write history parenthesis.
Okay, it's a function, I suppose. That means.
Yes. So if you simply write history, that will give you the program. So as I said, that R is not a black box. You can really see.
Right. Thanks a lot. Got it, sir.
Yeah, good. You also took my examination.
You'll be all clear, sir. No issues. That's why you are there to guide us.
No. It was this on the light side. Yes, Anuradha, you have to read the question, or somebody has to, because I'm not getting the questions on my screen. Okay, I can ask. Okay, from this list, there is one Anuradha Raheza. Can you ask Anuradha? Yeah,
hello,
who
sir,
can
this
speak?
is Sushma.
I can hear. She has already asked.
Acha, okay, Anuradha, so I think you can lower her. Actually, I would request all of you, those whose queries are, means they can. Then we have Dr. R. Mahendran.
Mahendran, yes.
Good afternoon, sir, for the wonderful session and introduction to R console and R studio. During the progress of course, if you could able to demonstrate in RStudio, it will be easy for us as the drop-down menus are menu compatible. GUI is better in RStudio.
No,
Instead
actually,
of,
the fact is this: the way I'm going to handle this workshop, I am simply going to tell you how to use the command.
correct.
So the only difference between using the R console and RStudio is that whatever I am going to type on the R console, you can directly type in the window number 1 of the RStudio.
Okay.
Right. I'm not going to use any complicated command here. For example, if I want to find out here a function here mean.
Okay.
Mean, either you try to write down in the R console or in the window number 1. It doesn't make any difference because that is the same effort. The only difference will be as soon as you type your ME, I think AN will come automatically. But my problem is this means I'm not confident that if each one of you will be using only the RStudio. Many of you might be using would like to use any other supporting software like as TinR or say anything. So that is why, Dr. Mahendra, I can promise you means I will be using the R console, but it will not make any difference. Whatever I am doing it on the R console, you can directly do it in the window of the window number 1 of the RStudio.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I will read the comments one by one.
Sure.
Okay, first there is two more raised hands. Let me call them. Dr. Mahindran, please speak. Dr. Mahindran.
I have done just now.
Okay, Dr. Baswarjit. Dr. Sushma ma'am, please speak.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Sir,
yes, ma'am, you are audible.
I have uploaded a screenshot in the chat box. So can you please explain how that histogram has been generated using those values?
No, you have, actually, I don't have this facility to see the chat box on my screen because of some this controlling issue.
Sir,
but then anyway.
Sir, let me send you on WhatsApp.
Then another just don't worry. Whatever commands I have written on my slide, you simply have to just type them on the window number 1. Simply highlight them and simply say run. That's all.
Okay, ma'am is writing X. Ma'am, you have written X. Ma'am, you have written X equals to 40/. Okay.
40/? No, I think there can be some graphical mistake.
X equal to C of 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and history of X. So that a graph is histogram is generated. So what I need is how that the graph is being generated using those values. I mean, how the analysis is being done.
Wait.
She has given a list.
Wait, Anuradha. No. I think I would request all the participants to not to jump. Right. Okay. Means I have given you only an example that how these windows are going to be, what these windows are going to indicate. I never said that I am going to teach you how to plot a curve or how to create a histogram. Right, that I will be taking in the next 2 days. Right, so you don't worry. At this moment, my objective was very simple. That what are these windows indicating? That's all.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. So yeah, but it is good that most of the participants got excited to know what's really happening.
Sir, Doctor.
But I promise you, at the end of the day, or at least at the end of the 3rd day, you will all be confident. That's my promise.
Sure, sir.
Next is Dr. Baswarjit. He has raised his hand, but he is not speaking. And sir, I am reading the comments one by one. Sir, please suggest a good book.
Okay, yeah. Actually, what you can do, that is the one possible thing. You just go to the website of Untitled. From where we give this MOOC courses. There I have two courses. One is Introduction to R Software, and say another is their Descriptive Statistics with R Software. And there I have given all the list of the books, so you can simply use them actually.
Okay. And one question
for the
is
statistics, I can say that one of the most simple book is that we have written, me and my colleagues have written. So that is a very simple book, particularly for those who don't have a very strong mathematical background. Yeah, that book has been downloaded for more than 5.5 million times. So that shows that, okay, that's a good book. So you can also follow the same book. Yes, I'm sure that you can get the copy of the
somebody has typed
yeah.
question mark read dot help, but it is giving error. Question mark read dot help.
No, the question mark, there has to be only single question mark.
Single question mark. Okay,
Yes,
I
single
hope
question mark. If you give a wrong comment, it will not give you the correct answer.
Dr. N.S. Bhukal, I hope your query is solved. Then Azim Shah SHD has written help.search and under bracket in double quotes he has written data input. So he's asking why is there a different result for the same command? Maybe the screen which you have shared, it is showing something else and he is getting something else.
Well, I will say that whatever I have shown you here, that was means I also have shared the screenshot. And you could see these things will always be possible in R because R is a free software, and as soon as there is a new development, this gets updated. Right. So as soon as there is a change, so it might be possible that 1 month back or 2 months back, when Dr. Anuradha asked me for this workshop, I started preparing these slides. At that moment, that screenshot might be coming, and now this is actually changed.
Okay, next question was
otherwise, if
library.
you try to copy paste the same command, usually I expect the outcome is going to be the same.
Next question is library and under bracket dot, that we have already solved in the class. Next is install dot packages and under bracket BSDA success. Sir is trying to ask something. He has not written the question.
Yes, so success means the package has been properly installed.
Yes.
Because many times it will give you some error, unsuccessful, etc., etc. That will also happen.
Okay, so next question was why C? Why use C? So somebody has also answered that C is for concatenation, and
C is in a C is a that is for concatenation, or in a very simple, I will say C is for combining all the values. Once you write all, means more than one values, and you want to store all those values in a variable, and you want the R to read all the values, you have to use the C command.
Letter C. Okay.
Anyway, in the next lecture, I'm going to address all these things.
Okay. Okay. So next comments are wonderful session, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for your clear explanation, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Nice presentation and a very informative session. Good startup, good demo come explanation. Thank you, sir. And then, sir, please suggest a good book that you have already answered. So I hope that is all from the participants. If there is any query, and again I'm requesting everyone, you have given me your mail ID that I have added to the teams, this team of FDP. So please join using that mail ID only. You will be able to chat. But if you use some other mail ID for joining the team, maybe you are not able to chat. Because from my end, I have not disabled chat for anyone. All are allowed to chat. Okay.
Ma'am,
it's except me.
Of mine.
Yes.
Actually, I enrolled for the FDP from my personal mail ID, and my team's ID is some other my organization team ID. You asked me to fill up a Google form saying that I filled that. Still, I'm not able to get the chat option here enabled.
Ma'am, you just join with your team's ID, not your Atal ID.
No, I joined from the team's ID only.
So, can I now leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We will join at 2:40, 1 hour break. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Just a minute, ma'am. Yes, see, due to these reasons, I am not unmuting all because somebody leaves the mic on. So we all are faculties, we can understand that how disturbing it is when somebody speaks during my teaching. So that is why I am not giving privilege to unmute to everyone. Okay, I think all must cooperate with whatever I am saying and should agree with whatever I am saying, because those who are able to unmute, at times it happens that we forget to mute ourselves and that creates disturbance. If the chat thing is concerned, then for the chat I have not disabled chat for anyone. All are allowed to chat. Okay, so use your id for from which you are registered on team, this team, FDP team. You will be able to chat. Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining. We will resume at 2:40.